Welcome to Generation Dragons, episode 84. Steve, long time no see ya.
Been a while, my man. How you doing?
Not too shabby, not too shabby. How about yourself?
Good. How about a cheers?
Ding, ding, ding.
Good to see you.
So, everybody, welcome back. It's been a while. I haven't seen you, heard from you. You haven't heard from us. If you're first tuning into this, go check out our other episodes. If you're a regular of ours, thanks for coming back.
All
and
83
returning.
plus.
Yeah. We have 83 shows of us talking. Welcome.
Plus the bonus episodes.
Oh, yes. And the bonus episodes. But yes. Anyways, Steve, today we're here to talk about something that's near and dear to our hearts, which seems to be almost every episode we talk about. But it's really physical.
I think we're kind of opinionated on this, but go ahead. Sorry.
Physical and digital video games, pros, cons, what we prefer. And yeah, I mean, Steve, I'll let you kick it off. As I know you have a large collection of physical, as do I, but yeah.
Physical all the way. Physical all the way. The only one negative to it is bit rot scares me. Because it'll eventually eat away your collection, regardless of how preserved it is. But all this game might disappear. Hell, any physical media or digital media, they decide to turn off those servers, you don't have it anymore. You don't have access for it. How do you share it? Like, it's got to be physical all the way. And sadly, we're moving away from that, and I get it. The convenience of digital, it's instant gratification. It's right there. But I'm a physical media guy. I love my collection. I love to be able to, here you go, man. And swap and pop and this. But before we get too deep into it, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I have a big physical. I do see the benefits of both. I mean, if I had enough money, I would buy a physical and a digital copy of games because I could then,
which we've both done on many.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. The benefit of, I will give this to Xbox of Game Pass. It's funny enough, game on Game Pass, but I also bought the physical version of it too.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah, but that's like you're saying, Steve. One thing, like you said, the bit rot that does concern me as well. Actually,
and
I think
the old consoles dying concerns me.
Yes, I think I've lost one or two games already to bit rot, I believe. I'm guessing when both are Sega games. One's a Genesis game, the Sonic 3D Blast. That just doesn't seem to run on any of my Genesis. And then a couple Game Gear games, which I've again also lost a couple Game Gears to, which I think. For Game Gear, for example, it's a couple hardware repairs that need to be done. I should probably brush up on that, but it's things of that nature, like you said. But, if we lose physical, especially on the older games, they're gone forever. How many times there's been stories out there in the world about like Capcom losing the data to Resident Evil, and they had to remake from the beginning and stuff like that. It's just crazy, right? Digital, like you said, turn off the server and the game's dead, and that's it.
Yeah, so I hate not physically having something, right? If I've given money, I want it in my hand.
Yeah,
and I get it's the way the world's going, but I just, man, I bought this lens cap cover, this white balance shoot through lens cap cover. You can't take it away from me. You can't turn off the server.
Yeah,
but
well, that's exactly it. I mean, to me, I do like and / love being able to go and jump onto my Xbox or PlayStation, have the digital version of it saved to my hard drive, and just jumping into a game just like that and switching over to another game. That is nice. I mean, I'm just lazy and don't want to get up and go swap discs every once in a while, but
I get that. I get the convenience, but I also love sometimes setting up the old Xboxes. The first Xbox, can't do it with the new ones because they don't have LAN mode, but throwing in old Halo and just having a LAN party, or even StarCraft, and doing that. Now you have to play it on Battle.net, and BattleNet's down or somebody. It's free, but I mean, it's all dependent on you being online.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm physically next to this guy here and this guy here. Why can't we just connect wires or
Yeah.
wireless?
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah. Yeah. No.
I play a lot of old games, especially more than I ever did in my life in the last couple of years. And to be fair, that's all emulation, so that's all digital.
Yeah.
But I have pretty much most of the copies of the games I want physical, and luckily I haven't lost anything to BitRot that I know of. Because there's probably stuff I haven't played in years that might not work. I've
Yeah.
always been able to get around it and making it work, but man, I got burnt bad by the Nintendo Wii with the virtual store. I forget what it's called now.
Virtual
Where
console.
virtual console, where I bought a ton of games on that,
Yeah.
and the CD drive broke. And I know you know the story, but just for those listening, and I did not realize it wasn't tied to my account; it was tied to the console.
Yeah.
So I had to pay money where I could buy a Wii at the time cheaper than it was to ship it and get it fixed, come back, and I lost all my games on there because I wasn't willing to pay to get it fixed. I bought a new Wii for like $50, and I modded it. And I put all my
Mm.
ROMs on it. I was like, screw you, Nintendo, like you screwed me of all this money. And look at they're closing all these stores and stuff. Like you see it with across the board with all the major brands, but I'm just like I feel burned by buying digital and then losing it.
Yeah. Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah, I would be that, the downfall of physical nowadays is the games aren't completed generally. There's always day one patches. Some of them you have to be
So
connected to the internet right
that's
off the bat.
that's a good and a bad thing. The good thing is like you released a game, you could not patch it. You better have that thing right when you launch it. Nowadays, we'll release Halo with this part of the game, but we'll add multiplayer later, or sorry, co-op later. We'll
Yeah.
add this later, and I'm like, I remember being so excited because my friend Jacques and we always play Halo together, and when Infinite came out, and we're like all excited to play, and I'm like, can't unless you just want to do multiplayer shoot and kill everyone. I'd
Yeah.
rather play the co-op campaign, and I
Yeah.
couldn't do that. So
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what I mean. That's the big thing. It's too bad nowadays that games aren't complete when they come on discs anymore.
yeah. You
I
buy a disc
mean,
now. That's the other half of it. You buy a disc now, and it's not going to work just to plug it in offline. It's
it,
basically your key to download more.
well, it does work. It's just not like, it's not the best version of it, right? You're not going to get the most. It's not the complete version. That's where the benefit of like limited run games, where
What do you
they're
mean?
just so limited run, the physical producer of some digital games. So like Hi-Fi Rush, for example,
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
coming. That was for Xbox. They're doing a physical
Game.
version of that game, and
Oh yeah, you're right. I read that. Yeah.
so they're releasing. So limited run does a bunch of old games. That's why you've seen a few of the games that I have from them. But anyways, but they get a full complete game when they put it out. So it's the completed game of Hi-Fi Rush. They don't patch.
So what you get?
It's the full game, right?
Yeah, but you remember back in the day, you could get a patch via CD. It was like the expansion, and it updated the game as well, and stuff like that. And
Yeah,
I
but
guess
you're talking, that's PC though. That's not X.
no,
That's
no,
not con.
even console. I'm trying to remember games that did that. Oh man, I'll have to look it up, but I'm sure there's a couple of games that have done it on console. Where you get the expansion or the part two, whatever it is, and it updates the old game as well.
Yeah,
But you're definitely
yeah.
right, way more PC, if
Um,
not exclusively.
yeah. The other thing, some pros of the digital. It's all digital consoles. They're generally cheaper. They don't have to have a disk drive in them. You can have more
How much does it
space
cost to put a
technically.
disc drive in these days?
Oh, this
To
is
me,
true.
that gets me. I'm like, this technology is like 20 years old. It's
If
way
you,
older than 20. I'm talking about Blu-ray,
yeah,
but like if it's 40 years old if you want to just go CD.
if you live in a condo apartment or a small space, having physical is tough.
Hmm.
There's no space for it.
That's why
The
you
big
just give them to me, and I'll just lend them
yeah,
back out.
yeah,
Call me, the new blockbuster.
yeah,
So,
yeah. The big thing too, actually, and it's funny, you're joking about that, but that's part of the problem, or was part of the problem. Um, and a lot of the developers and producers, oh no, Steve,
yeah, that sucked.
didn't want to lose the money to GameStop because it was more or less GameStop making the money
Ugh.
back because they give you $25 in trades, and then 25 if you're lucky in a trade of a game, and then resell
Oh
it for
yeah,
60.
so that is definitely a con. But one of the other things is with digital, you can't even do that.
No, but that's not, but it's a con for us, but for the developer, it is not a con because that means person number two has to buy the game themselves as well. And you can
Hmm.
no longer share a game or buy a used version of it. So that's kind of where that's, the good and the bad of it, right? If those developers aren't making their money, they aren't producing games, but that's a whole another story we could talk
And
about
then you
because
have streaming, like something like Game Pass, where they're not making a whole lot off that anyway.
true. Yeah.
Oh man, it goes back and forth the argument. I'm still for physical, but
Oh no,
man,
I'm 100%. For me, it's always been physical. I will always be physical. I will. That's why, honestly, in the way this the console world is going, I'm gonna lean towards Nintendo. If Nintendo, the Switch 2 or Super Switch or whatever the heck they call it,
Super Switch
uh, yeah,
has to be
please
Super Switch.
say, yeah, the Super Nintendo Switch. If they don't maintain a strong physical presence, which I think they do. They will because it's Nintendo, and it seems that Nintendo and Japan and Japanese gamers tend to like physical. Well, they like digital too, but they will continue to maintain the physical. That's why you see a lot of physical Japanese games. Even North American games that get released in Japan are physical.
Hmm.
And you have to buy, or like a digital game is physical. It's whacked like that. Baldur's Gate
Oh
3, for
man,
example, came out physical in Japan and not here until a much later date, right? So, anywho, I
there's
think
absolutely some place I gotta go. By the way, but off topic.
I think you'll get more physical from Nintendo.
Mm,
Xbox is
no, Xbox is done.
done.
They're
Yeah,
like they're just going to be a service at this point.
yeah, yeah,
That's where their
yeah.
money's at.
Well, that's what they are, man. Microsoft has been a service company. They're a software as a service. They've been since God.
They've been
Uh,
SaaS for a long time,
exactly, and they're
and
just
that's
making
where they
video
make their
game
money.
SaaS. Yeah, yeah, membership fees.
And
PlayStation.
that's unfortunate. This is changing the conversation a bit, but that makes me worry about the console war. I don't want to lose a console, but man, if Microsoft just puts everything on everything, who's going to buy an Xbox
So
when
on
Sony
that
still
point,
has
Steve,
exclusives?
and you know what? Hey, if you're right, it's a completely different subject, and I kind of want to say this before we either go back to our conversation or end the show, whatever. Um, if Xbox decides to move forward and be more of a third party and release, you know, Activision games and Bethesda games and stuff like that on PlayStation and even Nintendo, um, so be it. Those developers were there before on the other systems. They should maintain on the other systems because Xbox isn't big enough. They weren't going to get bigger because they keep effing up. They keep flopping, making errors on stuff. They have been for a long time. I mean, I'm wearing Xbox headphones, but I'm going to bash Xbox because I do. They're near dear to my heart, and it hurts my feelings that they're doing this type
They're
thing.
basically the new Sega.
But exactly. And if Xbox does go third party, or 85% third party, hey, if I can grab an Xbox controller and play it on my PS5 or PS6 or whatever it's going to be, or on my Switch, and I can use an Xbox controller, What's the difference? Because all it's going to be like that.
And that's how they believe. What I'm worried about is the lack of competition. All of a sudden, you're giving Sony the monopoly on hardware and consoles.
But that won't matter, Steve, because look at what they're doing right now. I mean, Sony's releasing any game that's not a single player experience on PC almost day and date.
Yeah, it's a step
So
forward. But for sure, where are you going to play God of War or um, brain fart on games? But any of the Sony exclusives, right? You're not going to play it
yeah,
on Xbox.
no, but that's because you don't need to. However, if
But
Xbox is
that's my
deciding,
point, right? If you want to play it, you buy a PS6 and not an Xbox, whatever they're going to call the next one, because you're limited now by buying an Xbox.
yeah, oh yeah, 100%, which I agree. But I don't think. I mean, I think we have one more generation out of Xbox, and then I think Xbox is done. I think what they're going
Do
to
you think
do,
it's
and
going to be an actual generation or just like a bump?
no, I think it'll be a generation. And again, we're totally going off topic. It kind of ties into it because it's going to me, it's going to be
Digital versus
Xbox will be,
physical, but no.
but it is right. So I think what you'll see is in the next generation will be Xbox will be more a digital focused system. Um, the whole rumors and maybe we'll know by the time we put this up. We'll maybe be right or maybe be wrong. The Xbox handheld will be renounced, and then again, that still be digital.
Money I don't
Um,
have, but must buy.
Yeah, right. But it'd still be digital, right? It's still going to be like a Steam Deck, but with an Xbox UI. Like it's just going to be an Xbox interface on top.
Make this green.
It's going to be even better than that. But that's the thing, though, right?
Oh,
Like
for sure.
that's just a streaming device. It's kind of like the Logitech that I had, just a streaming device. Xbox will do what the MOG, Asus and a couple of the
Yep,
Rally and all those ones, right? Which
yep.
are
I
just
hear you.
gaming their PCs. What they're going to do is put an Xbox overlay on top, and then
Well, they're more just
Bob's your uncle.
streaming devices, but yeah.
No, those
But
one
that
the $8,000-$9,000 ones are
oh yeah,
legit
they're
the handheld
literally yeah,
PCs.
exactly that kind of money for sure. This is only $200, like
Yeah, yeah.
versus
Which so that's the question. What do you? Okay, and again, off topic, but I also see it as a benefit because I have a PSP, like the Portal.
yeah.
I'm loving it now. Like I've grown a great appreciation for it. But all my physical games that I'm playing on it are on my PlayStation in my basement, and I'm playing
Yep.
the Portal upstairs. So if Microsoft releases a handheld, do you want it to be a
Standalone. I don't want it to be a streaming device.
you don't want to be a streaming device. You want to be able to download your Xbox games that
Put
don't
them right
really
on there.
Yeah, but the problem is Xbox doesn't have fucking games to put on.
I know it's not going to happen because they're all about the cloud gaming experience and all that. So I know it's not going to happen, but I would love a standalone new media on this thing, play, but it's not the way it's going to happen.
No, but hey, yeah, and again, we're recording on the 6th of June, everybody. So we'll find out in a
Happy D-Day.
couple days, 3 days from now, if Xbox announces it and what it is. Yes, happy 80th anniversary of D-Day. But yeah, Steve, I think we've kind of hashed out our digital physical.
Yeah, we did. It got way off topic, and I think we need a new episode just on handhelds and streaming.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, we both are physical. We both know, and we probably should have someone who leans more digital on this stuff. But even Jared, who's on one
I
of
got
our
a few
first
people,
shows.
and I'm sure you do. We could bring
Yeah,
on to fight
but
us because just what you
he
said there, we're pretty much
so
hating on digital.
but so like for example, friend of the show, Jared, he he buys physical movies. He only buys 4K movies that he wants. He buys them in 4K because he loves 4K video. He has to buy digital video games because of the location of where he lives, and he can't have physical video games. Would he prefer physical video games? when him in our conversations, yeah, I think he would. However, he's just limited to buying digital because of the location of his life, right? So that's kind
Hmm.
of part of it, where it's like, like I play more than you do, but with the newer games, pretty much playing everything. I like having the physical of it. Digital is a benefit that I can see where I can go switch games because right now, I'm playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth on my PlayStation, but sometimes I just want to jump into Tony Hawk or I want to jump into, Spider-Man. I'm like, damn it, I have to walk all the way upstairs from the bedroom down to the
The
basement and swap
pain is real. I hear
what
you
that
though.
you get what I mean? You get what I
I
mean.
do
So
because I because I play a lot. I've been playing Alien Fireteam Elite lately a lot, and it's a digital game, and I go from room to room with my different Xboxes, and sometimes I'm like, man, this is just so convenient.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
and I've even played it on this, right?
right.
Like, when Curse is watching a movie, the girls have their boyfriends over, and I'm like, I have nowhere to go. So I just grab this and I watch a show with my wife, pretend to be interested, and just do my thing. And then so
But anywho, yeah, everybody leave us some comments and what you think, digital, physical. Um,
let's
how do you
get physical,
how do you feel if
physical.
physical
Go.
media goes completely away? Or do you like music? Do you like do you movies? Do you prefer to stream it? Do you prefer to buy it? I mean, I'm still buying 4K video movies of movies that I like. I buy the 4K movies because I like 4K video when I'm watching it on my TV. Um,
Hmm.
if I'm doing whatever, sure, Disney Plus on my phone is fine, right? Netflix on my phone is fine. But if I want the goodness, I do it. But yeah, Steve,
Yeah.
good
Before we
sir.
sign off, let us know if you're still using BearShare or Napster.
Yeah.
On the.
Are you still downloading stuff from LimeWire? If so, let us know. Uh,
How's Newgrounds been treating you lately?
yeah, yeah.
All right, man. Remember the
Good.
sign off? It's been so long.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. Keep collecting
Keep gaming and
and stay
keep
stay
safe. No, it's
safe.
keep safe, Steve.
Think.
Keep
Oh,
safe. Think.
I got it. All right. Think.